well. The Yankees and the Astros entered this year the favorites to win the American League pennant. Houston, the best price, plus 360. The Yankees back at one point by only 10 cents. But after the news around Garrett Cole, moved back by nearly $1, plus 450 before the year got underway. But it was the Pinstripes going into Texas and winning all 4 games in the opening weekend 4-game set. A 4-game sweep over the Stros, and the Yankees pay it off yesterday in the finale as well to complete that sweep. A huge weekend for New York, 4-3 the victory yesterday. And Juan Soto, as we'll detail in just a moment, was great in his first 4 games in a Pinstripes uniform.
He was, and let's just say after 4 games, you say, well, I'm not going to tell you who actually won those games. Let me just give you a couple players in the lineup. Gleyber Torres is going to hit 133 in this 4-game series, and Aaron Judge is a 125. Like, oh, my goodness. When the Yankees aren't scoring any runs, they're going to take a loss. Nope, because one guy in the middle of that lineup called Juan Soto is hitting a 529. I remember when these trades were going down, and will the Yankees get Soto? He's the perfect fit, and he hasn't even played a game yet here in Yankee Stadium, which is going to be perfect for that short right field porch that you're going to be able to line up against. But also, you can't trade young pitchers like Michael King, a generational talent in New York that's waiting to explode. That's Juan Soto. Fantastic start to his Yankees career, and already a fan favorite, taking down those hated Astros over 4 games where he was a centerpiece. And also, how about this? Hader was a monster move for the Astros coming over. Take a look at the 9th inning yesterday. Tie game, you figure Hader comes in just to get you to extra innings, gives up the 1 run here, and the Yankees get a win that way. Impressive performance in a series where we didn't know what to get out of the Yankees because there wasn't a lot of love coming out of camp because of the injuries to the pitching staff. And here they are 4-0 against the Astros.
And the Yankees booked as an underdog in a few of these 4 games, which is also insane and not something we will see often for the remainder of this Major League Baseball season. That 1 run in the 9th inning, by the way, came off the bat of Juan Soto, the go-ahead and game-winning RBI single. It compiled a game in which he had 3 hits. 20 times at the dish this weekend in the 4-game set. He reached base safely 12 times. 9 hits, 3 walks, one of the most patient players at the plate. And when you look back on the weekend, that was RBI single in his debut in a Yankees uniform throughout what would have been the tying run in the 9th, as we detailed on Friday. 3 hits and an RBI walk in game number 2 on Friday. Game number 3, the go-ahead home run in the 7th. And you see it there, DRS. The average now is 529. We didn't see a ton of movement in terms of the AL pennant odds. Okay, that makes sense. It's 162 games, even if these were 4 important ones to start off the year. But Juan Soto, over $1 taken off his American League MVP price, now plus 370.
These where you're going to get the movement at, Ben, right? You're going to have it in the first couple weeks of the season. Then you're going to have that settling in where everybody's numbers, some guys jumping up, some guys slipping a little bit. And then at the end of the Major League Baseball season, much like you're seeing in the NBA, a guy that you think is the MVP as the days go on, as long as he plays decently at the plate, if it is a guy like Soto, he's going to be able to go from minus 100 to minus 200 to minus 300 here. But it's a great start. And you say, well, that's an interesting move. No, it's not. You had a big-time player for the Yankees on the road against the Astros be the centerpiece. Of course, that number is going to move, and rightfully so. And also, if you're a Major League Baseball player, the worst thing in the world is if you are a great player to get started off slow. 1 home run in your first 2 weeks, questioning why the Yankees traded for him here. He's not going to have to deal with that. And when you're a great player and you get off to a hot start, there's a really good chance it continues that hot start. Let's see where Juan Soto goes over the next week here and see if he can put up those identical numbers, which would be ludicrous. Hitting over 500 in Major League Baseball against the other team's aces coming right out of the gate. That's great stuff.
Now, a 4-game sweep for the Yanks over the Stros, but just to say, 3 of the 4 games decided by 2 runs or less. Friday night was the only one that featured a lead for the Yankees or a win for the Yankees by more than 2 runs. The Atlanta Braves, though, to start off this year, were hammering the Phils in Philadelphia. 9-3 in the opener on Friday, 12-4 in game number 2 on Saturday night. But the Phillies do respond in game number 3. They were down entering the 7th inning. 3-run 7th for the Phils. They get their first win of the year. 5-3 yesterday, Donnie, over the Braves. 5-4, excuse me.
Yeah, Yeah, Sale wasn't too bad yesterday. Bryce Harper got the day off being that lefty-lefty matchup, but also it looked like he almost broke his neck the day before, landing into the dugout. Tough scene there, but looks like he's no worse for the wear at this point. He should be back in the starting lineup today. But the Phillies needed that win. You can't get swept by the Atlanta Braves at home. They actually have a pretty good April schedule if you're just taking a look at the teams and what we're anticipating them to be here over the next year. Because last year, some of those teams like the Cincinnati Reds are going to play. We'll see if they're as good as they showed last year at this point. But getting back to the Braves, they're good. They're good in 1 through 9. They're good in their starting lineup, pitching staff, and they're great out of the bullpen. The Phillies couldn't afford a sweep here. So even though the Phillies lost 2 or 3 games, they won yesterday. It's like, whew, that's a good series for the Phillies right now, which is crazy because the Phillies don't usually show up till late September anyway, and they're notorious for their slow start. We'll see if they don't do that this year.
Second half of the year after the All-Star break, that's when we'll start really worrying about the Phils. The Braves right now, a minus 360 favorite to win the National League East. 2 other teams in the division went over in their opening weekend. What a contentious series it was between the Brewers and the Mets. Rhys Hoskins, Jeff McNeil. Well, the Brewers win all 3 over the Amazons. The Marlins get swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates. A 4-game set the Buccos take all 4. The Tigers sweep the White Sox. They're going to be bad. The Dodgers win their 4-game set over the Cardinals, taking 3 of those 4 games. Early look at the Final 4 on the early line next.